Well, to energy, what else do we talk about these days? And Sweden is, of course, a nuclear country. It's had nuclear since the early 1970s. Many of its nuclear reactors are getting fairly old, and the policy across the parties was to allow them to shut down naturally and to phase out nuclear. That was until 2022 and the election of a centre-right coalition led by the Liberal Party, together with the moderates and the Christian Democrats. And they've turned around and realised that actually Sweden needs new nuclear power to keep the fires burning, as it were. Sweden runs on a lot of hydroelectricity, particularly from the north. So it has some wind, of course, and a bit of solar, but they need that nuclear to underpin the baseload power. Energy here in Sweden is cheap. Electricity prices are low. They're in the lowest quintile of European electricity prices. But we're just a stone's throw, a bit more than that, but we're just across the water from Copenhagen in that direction. It's just a 20-minute train ride across the bridge, and what a different situation. I was in Copenhagen this morning on the train and picked up the Highlands Post, which is, I think it's pronounced the Highlands Posten, which is one of Sweden, Denmark's main newspapers, and here is a story about the high price of electricity, how Danes are suffering from that, and how some of the schemes that say they're going to offer you cheap electricity actually don't pay off. What a difference. Over there, electricity prices are here, high, here they're not. Denmark, of course, was a great pioneer of wind and solar, and particularly offshore wind. And it has no nuclear power. It ends up importing a lot of its power from here in Sweden. And that's why it manages to get by. But it's a tricky situation. And if you look at its emissions, well, the Finnish electricity grid is nowhere like the pristine, clean electricity grid you get here in Sweden. So another example of how nuclear seems to be working here in Europe and why Australia is crazy not to look at it.